have such sights to show you.
Poltergeist.
So these past couple ScaryMania entries this year are movies that I have little to no information on whatsoever and going in blind. Well, today I'm going to be talking about one of my all-time favorites. It's 1982's Poltergeist. And here to help me talk about it is one of my favorite horror movie YouTubers out there. It's Kyle Flett from Flett's Movies and Pop Culture 13. Kyle, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Been looking forward to this. The Poltergeist is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's unfortunate what has happened to the cast, especially the
Yes.
But it's such a great moment. Directed by Tobe Hooper, produced by Spielberg. There is one scene that is Tobe Hooper for sure.
I think we should just rip the Band-Aid off and talk about the big prevailing theory out there that Tobe Hooper did not, in fact, direct this. This was really Spielberg just cleverly hiding it. It really came from the fact that at around the same time, Spielberg was making E.T., a great movie in its own right. He was making that movie an hour away from where Poltergeist was being filmed. And so the theory has persisted over the years that Tobe Hooper did some work on it. However, it was Spielberg cleverly directing it on the side without Universal knowing about it. I am of the belief that he did direct like some of it in secret. Like maybe he and Tobe Hooper were having a conversation. Like, so how does this scene go? Is that an action?
Yeah, my theory is that I think they worked together on this movie. You know what I mean? He was there to also guide Toby. But there is that one scene though, and we'll get to it. It's that scene you can really tell that's straight out Tobe Hooper for sure. And there's other parts you're like, oh, okay, there's Spielberg in there.
Yeah, and it also helps the theory that Spielberg wrote this movie or was one of the writers. So this has definitely got Spielberg DNA in it with Tobe Hooper's directing style, because this is the same guy who directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Funhouse, which I think is pretty underrated myself.
Oh, hell yeah.
So Tobe Hooper was very good at his job. So it's not like he just hired a friend to direct it for him. Tobe Hooper is quite the good director. It's interesting because keep in mind, in 82, like Spielberg was not exactly on the rise, but he was like approaching his prime. He had done Raiders, he had done E.T., which would be coming out later on in the year. We were getting prime cut Spielberg right here. Yeah. So it's interesting to think about. There's some people like, oh, clearly he did not. And some are like, he absolutely did. I kind of fall like he may have done some of it. I mean, you just never know. He was clearly there. He wrote and produced it. So, I mean, he had to have at least had his feet on the ground on the set, talking to people.
100% he had his hands on it.
But why I love this movie so much is one of the first horror movies I ever watched, period. It was in a film appreciation class in high school. And this is a horror movie that I would say if you're going to start in horror, I would pick this one. Because it has enough of the Spielberg, like, I guess, whimsy per se to not be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is an all-timer, but that movie is rough, it's grimy, it's gritty. You might want to pace yourself with that one. But with this, it's kind of like E.T., but with ghosts, and the ghosts are truly evil, if that makes any sense.
Right, and you already start off with the movie with Carol Ann, have her right against the TV. It's all black and white, flashy. And then later on, you get to see her favorite line, "They're here."
Which has just become iconic.
Yeah.
And then you got Craig T. Nelson, who plays the dad. And for a generation, he's Mr. Incredible from The Incredibles. But he's had a pretty long and lengthy career. But I think he's really good in this. And I've seen the movie multiple times, but I think in this rewatch, I appreciated him more because he's just a good dad. Like he's a genuinely good dad. Like there's a scene near where they're trying to get Carol Ann out of the ghost realm, and the medium is like, you need to yell at your daughter. He's like, I'm not doing that. Like, even in the context of yelling at her makes her come away from the light, he still doesn't want to do it. And it basically takes every ounce of courage to like just say like you're gonna get a spanking if you don't come here. Like, he doesn't want to do it. And
Right.
there so that whole angle of this is just a genuinely really good dad. I liked that. I liked the spirit of that.
100%. I think the parents, the one plays both of them that play the parents, do an awesome job.
Mhm.
And I also love I can't remember what her name is, but the one that played Carrie Ann's older sister, she does a good job too in her role as well.
Yes.
And she really, there's some scenes where she should really care for Carrie Ann. And when Carrie Ann disappears, the actress that plays the medium that finally comes in later on, it comes in and helps them try to get her back. She, rest in peace, she's no longer with us, but does an incredible job. And then you got that creepy clown in the room.
Oh god,
Oh yeah,
that clown just I'm okay with clowns. I get the fear of clowns. It's never been
yeah, it doesn't
like
bother me
something that
either.
I've been affected by, but this clown terrifies me. It just never looked right to me. But the actress who plays Carol Ann's older sister is Dominique Dunn. That is her name.
Dominic Dunn, yeah, unfortunately lost her to unfortunate stuff. So,
Yeah, and the
um,
mom is played by Jo Beth Williams. She does a really good
oh
job, and of
yeah,
course,
I
Heather
was
O'Rourke. May she rest in peace.
yeah Heather and Warwick after the third movie I remember, so, or at
Yes.
least prior, yeah. And Poltergeist, the Poltergeist house has got to be one of the most iconic houses in horror too. Like just the setting and the house that they chose for this movie is just perfect. So many rooms are iconic. You can actually tour the actual Poltergeist house to this day.
Ooh,
It's very
I
cool.
may
So
I may need to do that one day.
yeah. And there's that one scene. Remember that the entity goes after the mom and does what he does, take her up the wall, and we know what's going on there.
Yes,
But
I know the one.
yeah, Scary Movie 2 has parodied it. But that was a crazy scene how they pulled that off too. Um, and even when the tree comes into her brother's bedroom too, through the window and takes them out to the backyard, it was crazy.
You know, there is some CGI here. I mean, to pull off some of the stuff
Yeah.
they do, you pretty much had to have gone the CGI
Oh
route.
yeah.
There's a lot of practical stuff here that I just forgot was practical, like the stuff with the tree, and then the clown, and then what you were referencing to, the scene is where one of the ghost hunters has a dream where he gets really hungry, goes to defrost a steak. He looks in this mirror and starts ripping his face
Yeah.
off of his face. And it's so gross. Like he just is like ripping and tearing
That
at it.
part, that was Toby Hooper's idea because that's like
Oh,
Texas
for sure.
Chainsaw stuff
He
going on
he
there.
needed he needed to tap into the Leatherface well just a little bit. Just to like tap into that
Yeah,
style. But it messed me up the rest of the school day when I first saw it. Like when I first saw it, I'm like, I'm gonna need a minute. Like it hit me right here. Like
right.
it rocked me.
Yeah, and it's such emotional weight story too because they don't know if they're gonna get her back or not, but somehow the mom they can hear her through that realm. Um, when she even got sucked into the closet, I thought the
Yeah.
effects were pretty darn good there. Um, and even like there's some score. I think Poltergeist has a unique score in there a little bit too. There's some music going on. I really love. And some really cool camera shots. That's just makes that certain scenes feel really eerie. That's
Mhm.
so. But it's very well written, and I just think the final act is just so intense and so suspenseful. And what's pretty fun? They go to the hotel and then just throw the TV out,
Yeah, that was
put it outside.
that's I love that ending so much. It's like everything has gone down. They think they're like, oh, they're moving out, happy ending. No, the ghosts aren't done with them yet. Poor Dominique Dunn. She gets stuck in that pool with the caskets.
Uh,
Like the
yeah,
caskets just bobbing out of the water. Like that must have just been horrifying to experience. And then it just ends with them at a Holiday Inn, like you mentioned. they just push the TV like out onto the ledge.
Smart's choice.
Never fails to make me laugh every time. But shout out also to Zelda Rubinstein, who plays the medium,
Yeah.
and like her role is limited, but she makes the most of her time because like Tangina, that's her name, and she just comes in and like her look is just unique in every single
Oh
way,
yeah.
and just her dialogue, and just the way that she speaks, like her voice is just so out there and wild, but
And it's
you just don't question it. She just shows up, and you're just like, she definitely hunts ghosts for a living.
oh hell yeah. And her voice is so iconic too because that's just her normal voice usually because she was talking like that in another movie. But she just used that for her advantage in movies, like for her acting ability, and I think she does an amazing job, and that doesn't take away from anything. And every line she delivers really hits hard. You know what I mean? And it's just she nails that role. I can see when I was playing the medium.
I gotta tell you, I'm glad I rewatched this for the sake of this, because usually if I've seen a movie a bunch of times, I can pull from like my memories of like, oh yeah, this was awesome, and I remember that. I usually have a good memory for that stuff. Here though, I'm glad I rewatched it because the scene where they finally get Carol Ann out of the realm and they land in that bathtub, and I mean, it looks like they're covered in strawberry jam. It always looks like that to me, but just the process of like getting her out of there and just the fight that they have to do with the ropes and the tennis balls, and then just be like, you have to pull, and it's like they have to pull, and just like the effort of getting her out of there, and then finally she wakes up, and just Jerry Goldsmith's score just
Oh
incredible, and
yeah.
cherry on top is another iconic line from this movie where Tangina just goes, "This house is clean." It just you can't
Yeah.
you can't replicate something like that.
No. And what's so crazy, their neighborhood was next behind their house was like a graveyard, if I remember correctly.
They built on top of the graveyard.
Graveyard on built on graveyard, that's what I meant. It was built on the
Mhm.
graveyard. Yeah. Why? Why? That's why they're doing the stuff they're doing. But you can also tell that this neighborhood was not that far where ET was filmed.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
was you could tell.
it makes all the sense in the world. The houses look eerily like similar to each other. I guess it just fuels the theory a bit more. One thing that I did want to bring up, and I'm not sure where I'll be able to bring this up again, so here goes. Spielberg, and Kyle, I'm sure you know all about this, but was going to create like a sci-fi horror movie called Dark Skies, where
Yes.
E.T. was supposed to be evil, and he never actually did that. He's working on a sci-fi sort of thriller right now, and we're going to be getting that somewhere down the road. But it's always been fascinating to me that we never got like the Dark Skies movie. I mean, interesting, like early 80s Spielberg directing sci-fi horror. I would love to have seen that, but I guess sadly at this point we'll just never know.
No. Yeah, he was supposed to do that, and that's why, since that got turned down, he's decided to help, create another story, which came Poltergeist. But I would love this. I know it probably would never happen, but I would love to see Spielberg tackle some horror towards the end of his career here.
He's dabbled with it in some of his movies. I mean,
Right.
the whole thing, the ending of Raiders, that's a horror movie ending
Oh, yeah.
if you really think about it. Like Temple of Doom. I mean,
Look at with the monkeys.
he's definitely dabbled. I'll just leave it at that.
It would, yeah, he does have horror throughout his movies, but it would be so cool if he actually tackled a full-on, just straight horror. Would be something special.
I couldn't agree more. And I think and again, I don't know where I'll bring this up again, maybe in another Scary Mania where I do another round of sequels to stuff I've already reviewed, but this movie ended up spawning 2 sequels of diminishing quality. I have not seen them. And then a remake, which I've heard is very bad, but I have
Oh,
not
it's
seen that either.
it's not that good. I would say
Not
that.
even Sam Rockwell could save that one from what I hear.
No, and it's produced by Sam Raimi. And
Oh, that's a
but
shame.
he didn't have any much say on the movie, you know. So
Oh, well, guess I can't argue with that one. But What did you all think of Poltergeist, the OG? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to read what you have to say. And Kyle, it's always a privilege to do stuff like this with you. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Fletch Movies and Pop Culture 13. I just did a Saw 3 watch party yesterday, which was a lot of fun. You can check that out if you haven't yet. Then I got that 3 huge interviews coming up very, very soon. And I got a gaming stream later this week as well. And a lot of other stuff. And you will see me and Ryan do more stuff very soon. So I'm looking forward to that. So a lot of stuff to look forward to on my channel in October. It's going to be stacked. So.
Yep, the links will be down below. Go give them a subscribe over there. And as far as this channel goes, we'll be going from one iconic horror director to another. And I'll be going back to the realm of David Cronenberg. We're talking about Scanners tomorrow. But until then, my name is Ryan Cam. We will see you all in the next one.